So I'm going to be doing some track work soon. I'm just going to get out of the sun. That is really warm. And it's going to be drifting. And it's going to be out in a place called like X Park Drift. And there's a bit of an echo coming from in there, so let's move away from that. And one of the things you're going to need if you're going to go do drifting is a bunch of extra spare wheels. So that's what we've got here. Though it's always made me think. I think the black wheels look fairly nice on the Toyota 86, but they're a bit boring. So I picked these up really cheap actually, and I want to try matte white. I've always liked the look of the white wheels, but I've never used them. So I'm gonna wash these up. I got some Plasti Dip. I'm gonna paint them a nice matte white. First thing we're gonna do, spritz them down. Try to get as much dirt off as possible, but we have to use the degreaser. And we're going to use a cloth to get most of this jankum off of it. Is that? The paint is actually coming off there. That is a surprise. I mean, I'm not too concerned, to be honest. If I was caring about this a lot, I'd take these rather cheap wheels and take them to a professional to paint them. Now, the reason why I've decided to paint these and not just get white wheels is because, oh my God, white wheels are expensive, especially like decent ones that are not complete garbage. They're like weaker than the normal sort of wheel and no better in any way, way more weight. Like there's a lot of garbage wheels like that. I don't actually know a lot about wheels. I just know that the ones that are cheap in white are just the worst. And the ones that are expensive, they're like thousands of dollars for just the wheels, not the tires as well on top of that. And the tires themselves are a big consideration for me. If I have to go with a bigger, more expensive wheel, why the hell would I do it? Bit of gutter rash in there, we don't care too much. These were, I think, with the tires on them, 3 of which are good still, but worn down to the wire, were like 300 Australian bucks. So I mean, you're going to spend more on that on tires, which I am going to be doing. I'm going to see if I can get some used ones. There's no point in using some brand spankers on this. I'll have to order them in advance though. And even if they do scratch up the wheels putting it on, I don't care too much. There we go. They're not coming up as clean as I would have liked with my first pass. It's like there's just a lot of little bits of dirt that don't want to come off. I was going to go straight into degreaser, but I think I do have to use detergent here. All right, we got a bit of sugar soap here. Oh, I've never seen sugar soap do that before. I suppose this one's been sitting for a long time. Probably not the best soap to use here. It's not really some sort of like vehicle, but soap should do it. And let's just get extra soapy in here. Get all of that greasy dirt caught up, and then hopefully it'll all come off in one go. Got to do it nice and quickly though, otherwise the soap will dry up and then re-stick everything back down. I used to do this a long time ago with a friend, go out bicycling, which was a really long way because we lived in the middle of nowhere. We would wash people's cars on the weekends to earn a little bit of extra money. And then after doing that for about a year, he stole it from me. All the money. Fantastic. Turns out later on he was just buying everybody at his school, because we didn't go to the same school. He was buying all of his friends like fast food and stuff like that. Later on, it also turned out that he'd borrowed a Game Boy Color that I had. Absolutely fantastic thing. Like we got it used, but still I didn't care. I loved it. Got it really cheap because it was scuffed up and everything. And he asked to borrow it one day. At that point, I didn't know he was a thief, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, cool, yeah, sure. And apparently, he said that it got stolen out of his locker. Turns out what actually happened is he sold it. So, total dick, that guy. All right, here's hoping that turns out a lot less cruddier. Actually, you know what, I think I might have a brush. That's dirty and dusty. There we go. That's made my life a little bit easier at the least. All right, up next, degreaser. I think I'm also, once again, going to use this to apply the degreaser because I just feel that this is going to be easier and quicker than a rag and probably still do a much better job. If only this soap would come out of it. Oh God, there's all that soap not coming out. Jesus, I've not used this in a really long time, so I don't remember how it works. Okay, no, good, it lathers up. That is very convenient. Make sure that it gets in the little nooks and crannies. You don't actually have to get everything scrubbed. Just apply it, and that'll be enough to degrease. Oh no, all of the bits are coming out of the sponge, and I can see that the brush, and I can see that it's a little staying on there. That's annoying. Fantastic. Hopefully that is now a lot cleaner than what it was with just some soap. We got, I see a bit of a messiness going on here. Is that? That's more dirt still. You know what? This doesn't matter too much. It's only some Plasti Dip. It's not meant to last forever anyway. I was thinking I didn't have any cards, so I was going to use this. You can see it kind of failed there. But then I realized that I don't need playing cards. I have these old business cards, which are no longer relevant. And besides, I didn't need 250 of them, but they came so cheap as a bundle that I used them. So old business cards from my old YouTube channel name from like 7 years ago work perfectly. And also hopefully this little bit of a lip here will keep the immediate dust out. I'm assuming that's what it's meant for. For the real fans, they'll remember that my channel used to be called Where's the Jump Button? Because initially it wasn't going to be just me, it was going to be me and a few friends. And they kind of ghosted me. So I did end up getting some friends, but they were different friends. We played some games. Channel didn't do very well right up until I did automation, and then shablamo. The rest is history. Hopefully the wheel painting, which is going to be really shitty anyway, as you can see here, like they haven't washed very well. When I change the tires, it doesn't get damaged, but you know what? Not too concerned. There. Perfectamundo. You know what? I'll hold on to them just in case I ever need to do wheels again. I mean, I've paid for them. Well, I've got my PP on. I think it's about time we start painting, shall we? Apparently it's meant to go on fairly thick. I've never used it myself though. Oh, I should cover those up, shouldn't I? Frick. It has been a very long time since I've painted a wheel. But I have done it. And I am generally pleased with the results. I think the last time I did this was probably probably closer to 15 years ago. So it's been a while. Hopefully I could do a good job. And hopefully this audio isn't completely scuffed. Oh, people's having a bit of fun issue. Turn your head to the side and cough. I'm gonna try to make sure I get the spokes evenly done. This can, the button is particularly hard to press. I am actually legitimately cramping up. Kind of people thinking I'm driving a Subaru. I'll never hear the end of it. There's a few runs here and there. You know what, I think it's okay. It's really hot today. Oh, not really hot, but quite warm today. So I think I should be able to go immediately into a second coat because it's taken so long to get around. This can really likes to splutter a lot. Oh fuck, I hate this can so much. It's so hard to push the button. It's actually passable as is. I know you can see through it still, but I think that looks all right. Ooh, well, that is not a bad job. I think I do need to go buy one more rattle can to be able to go over things. I also noticed that that didn't come out very well. But, I mean, it's not a great paint job. But it'll do. I just realized that I was covering up my microphone, so hopefully this sounds a little bit better now. Alright. Let's do the next coat with my totally, like, wasted arm that can't push down no more. Well, that's a poop. Well, it'll do. Yep, that's done.
It turned out that 2 of the tires were completely just unrecoverable, really. They were too bold, and they were actually unable to hold air. And no places had used one spare, which is unfortunate, so I just went and dished out a lot of money to get some new tires. And yeah, they did scuff them, and they get dirty super easily. But that meant that eventually, you know what? These are now my main wheels and tires. They're really good tires. But that's not the whole story. There was one small casualty when trying to fit on these wheels and tires. It's not great.
Wow. I have never had a wheel nut shear off like this. That is just insane. Why won't you focus? There you go. Look at that. I've never had that happen before. And I don't know why it happened. It looks like maybe they cross-threaded it. That was a hell of a pain in the ass to get off. But that's not all. You can see that the thing got a little bit damaged when the tires were being put on, which is unfortunate. And then putting them on, like, this stuff is not great. That's just say no to Plasti Dip, honestly. Like, I don't care too much, but oh god.